Lucy Santana, Chief Executive Officer for Girls Inc. of Orange County. I think my superpower has to be as a connector. I've been in the community for a very long time. I'm very blessed that I was born and raised in the city and in the county that I work in. And so over the years, I've been able to connect folks. When I hear something, I'm always like, hey, I think I know this person and I can connect you to them. So when I think about my superpower, it really is around how do I connect people? But also, when I do that, it's also for the greater good of our community. Like, how can people that are in the same space or maybe different spaces come together and learn and grow and interact? Exercising your right to vote is so important. So you ask any of my family members, they can sometimes say I can be annoying. And, the day before election day, I'm always texting them saying, hey, remember to go to the polls, remember to plan your day accordingly. I always encourage people to do vote by mail because just in case something comes up voting day, they've already voted. So I think that's really important. The other thing is that I do encourage my family to ask questions if they're maybe not as connected to different issues in the community, different propositions or things like that, to do the homework. It's say, if you have any questions, I don't know all the answers, but I can certainly try to help you find the answers. So I think it really is important. And because I come from a very large family, as soon as any of my nieces or nephews turn a voting age, I'm encouraging them to register to vote and make sure that they're exercising their right. You cannot complain about things if you don't vote and if you don't take action. So to me, that is something that's really important. And in the past, I've also encouraged my family to go out and help, to register folks to vote. I think that's also really important. So at my office, we actually have in our employee handbook that folks can use some of their work time to go vote in person if that is what they choose to do so. So leading to the election, our operations folks, as well as myself, are ensuring that they understand that they have that flexibility to do that. And so really ensuring that they take the time to do that. And of course, always encouraging people to register by mail so they can vote by mail is also really important. I think the other thing is that really ensuring that I hire a lot of young folks that come into, early professionals in our organization. And so a lot of times it is important for them to understand the issues that are out in our community and how that might affect the work that we do in working with young women. And so we really try to make sure that they're educated on all of the principles of whatever proposition might be out there, whatever bill might be out there, whatever local issues are coming up. So for us, it's really about education, and education so that they are well informed in making their choice when they check that box. Being a young person myself, when I first registered to vote, and I really wasn't sure what I was doing. And I think over the years, what I have learned is to immerse yourself in what is happening, not only in listening to the news, whether you're accessing news on TV, radio, or social media or the internet, but making sure that they're looking at both sides of the coin, because there's always going to be two sides to every story. And so we want to make sure that as you are emerging in the community, that you are well versed. I think the other thing is to seek people out that are involved and hear about different ways to get involved. I'm a huge proponent of volunteerism, whether somebody chooses to be involved in nonpartisan efforts in voter registration, or whether they choose to pick a partisan party and do that. I think it's really important that they just really think about, like, how do they learn, and then how do they become advocates in the community to inform others. Small steps to big steps, right? Whether it is becoming more policy oriented and educated on that. But I think at the end of the day is making sure that we are continuing to grow our population of voters, and that we are continuing to ensure that they're getting the information they need in the appropriate ways. During this election season, I think that what is really important is that people see the power that they can have as individuals and that they walk away feeling like they were able to make a difference. And that means whether they volunteer, whether they get really passionate and involved about a particular issue, I think is important. But I think the other thing that we could really use this election season to do is, even though youth under 18 cannot vote yet, I think it is a really great opportunity to get them excited about what the power of the vote will eventually do when they're of age. So education, having them understand how important it is to use their voice in issues that are important to them, and whether they start at their local schools, getting involved in leadership opportunities, council, ASB, what have you, but also in their community. Even though they can't vote, they can be advocates and they can talk about things that are important to them. And I think that in this election and every election, there's always some electricity and some excitement about the hope that we have. And I think that's what, to me, is important, that we don't lose hope that what we can do with the vote and what can change our community for the better. So I'm hoping that as individuals, adults that can vote will go out and exercise their right to vote, but also that we take the time as community members, as organizations, to educate our younger population about how important it is that they already start learning about this process, and that they understand, like, as soon as you turn 18, you can register to vote and you can go out and make a difference. If you'd like to get involved and learn more about what the work that Girls Inc. is doing, especially during this election season, we actually are focused on educating our young women and how they can make a difference. You can reach us at our website at girlsinc-oc.org or on LinkedIn. We're very active there, and we encourage you to reach out and see about the work that we're doing and also contact us.